would you say that all of these controversies have overshadowed some real innovation this year?
I definitely think they have. I think we're going to see so many more exciting things that are about to happen in tech, so many new innovations, and also ways that are going to add noticeably to the revenues of not just the major tech companies, but also a whole set of other companies in the ecosystem.
So what tech do you think is going to break out in the coming year?
I think that 2019 is the year of the smart camera. We see the leaders in this today are Amazon and Google, but we expect that within the next 3 years, the average American will have 12 smart cameras in their lives. And that's above and beyond the camera that today is on your computer or on your phone. And the reason is because of the huge amount of intelligence that's going to be built into the network around smart cameras, and the fact that people aren't just putting one smart camera on their homes. Once they own one, they're going to own more.
So what do you mean by smart camera? I mean, we've got our phone cameras, our computer cameras. Maybe we've got an Amazon Echo Show, which has a camera.
Right. So it's the Show, it's the Ring, it's all of those cameras. It's the cameras that people are going to have on their cars. We see the smart cameras just exploding because people are looking at them as a way in which they can not only interact with other people, but they can control the security in their lives. I mean, earlier you talked about concerns about privacy. Interestingly, all of our research shows that the people that are the most concerned about privacy are the ones who are the most likely to want to have a smart camera.
So, smart camera, you think that will be more important than smart speakers? You know, these speakers aren't just on the kitchen counter anymore. Amazon makes them on the go. There are so many different versions.
Yeah, the last years have been about voice. Going forward, it's about vision. It's going to be about not just what the intelligence can do in terms of what it hears you say, but it's going to be what it sees you doing. And so we expect that people are going to put more of the cameras, more of the devices with cameras inside of their homes. And we're already seeing that. So many of these smart speakers are already equipped with a camera. But there are all the standalone cameras that are then networked together, and it becomes even more exciting when you think about the fact that people put a Ring camera on their front door, on their back door, on their windows, and then they network with everybody else in their neighborhood to see what else is going on.
Now, you've also done some research on how much more time you believe we'll be spending with tech and media. You know, how are all these additional cameras and speakers going to help our tech addiction?
We expect that within the next year, people are actually going to spend another 10 minutes a day with tech and media. And of course, that's on top of what they're doing already. A lot of that comes from multitasking. And some of the places where we're going to see the most amount of growth are in places like web video, other things that people are going to be able to do. And in addition to podcasting, so many of these are going to add to the amount of time that people are spending with tech and media, and they're time stacking today. They're doing, it's not just about what I'm doing now, it's about what I'm doing at the same time as something else.
So by 2022, you say we will spend 12 hours and 32 minutes a day with tech and media. That's kind of frightening. I mean, when do we eat? When do we sleep? When do we talk to our kids? Yeah,
I mean, I think that a lot of that comes down to in terms of, well, what else are you going to be able to do with that time? A lot of it we're looking at is multitasking. It's those stolen moments in the day where you may be doing something else. And so all of our analysis shows that it's going to be people who are they're listening to something, they're watching, they're surfing at the same time, all of the things that people can do all at once, and that's where it's adding. And yes, it's crowding out. It's crowding out eating, it's crowding out sleeping, it's crowding out so many other activities in people's lives.
Heading into the holiday season, it's all about shopping. What about when it comes to e-commerce?
2019 is the inflection point. It is the year in where growth dollars from digital, from e-commerce, are going to exceed growth dollars from traditional retail globally. And but while traditional retail, bricks and mortar, is going to continue to grow, the growth in traditional bricks and mortar is only going to be about 2% a year, and the growth in e-commerce is going to be roughly 20% a year. it's the first time that we're seeing this crossover in terms of incremental spend to e-commerce.
You've got some other categories here: gaming, messaging, music. Sum it
Yeah.
up for me.
In gaming, gaming is going to move to the cloud. We're going to be able to play practically any game on any device. We're going to free the gamer from the console or from the dedicated device. We're going to be able to see different ways in which people can pay for games. Messaging. Messaging is today the dominant digital behavior. Today, Facebook controls between Facebook and Tencent. It's most of the messaging platforms. We're going to see Apple continuing to grow with iMessage. We're going to see a lot of Splinter because their people are going to move into other services like Telegram and Signal and Snapchat. And finally, sports gambling. Sports gambling is going to add roughly $30 billion in revenue to tech and media over the next 3 years.